Jaswarji, my name is Vinita. I work for the Asian Age Deccan Chronicle. The question today is about Mr. Rana. Has he been handed over to Indian agency? When is he likely to come? Can you just share the details about that?
साक्षी
सर यही इसका ही फॉलोअप आगे भारत में कब आने की संभावना है और कहां पर उनको फिलहाल रखा जाएगा, दिल्ली में, या इसको लेकर कोई जानकारी?
Sir, this is Soumya Jaiswal from Republic TV. Again, a follow-up on Tahir Rana. Which airbase can we expect him to be landing on exactly?
Okay.
And what is expected post that?
Okay. 3. Ayushi?
So this is Ayushi Agarwal from ANI. My question is related to the recent conversation between our External Affairs Minister and his American counterpart. The US readout said that the reciprocal tariffs were discussed. So can you share some details on that? And also, during the talks, was Rana's extradition discussed at all?
Okay, Keshav. Let's go with Keshav this time.
Sir, this is Keshav Padmanabhan from the Print. My question actually is regarding Bangladesh. Recently, there was a circular which cancelled the transshipment agreement, which allowed the transport of Bangladeshi goods. So I just wanted to have an understanding on whether this agreement was firstly discussed between Prime Minister Modi and Chief Advisor last week, and also sort of the understanding behind the cancellation of this, if you can share. Thank you.
Okay, so let's deal with these questions first. We have 3 questions on Mr. Rana. On that, you all aware that the US Supreme Court rejected his plea. As far as the extradition of Mr. Rana is concerned, at this point in time, I don't have an update, but we'll provide you an update at the appropriate time. Okay, so Ayushi, your question regarding what was discussed between External Affairs Minister and the US Secretary of State. He discussed several issues. We also had put out the discussion points that included conversation on West Asia, regional development, some international development. Then also discussed the importance of early conclusion of bilateral trade agreement. So that was more or less what comprised the discussion between the 2 leaders. Keshav, on Bangladesh, on the transshipment, this was a facility that was extended to Bangladesh in 2020. The transshipment facility extended to Bangladesh had over a period of time resulted in significant congestion at our airports and ports. Logistical delays and higher costs were hindering our own exports and creating backlogs. The facility, therefore, has been withdrawn with effect from 8th April 2025. And let me clarify here, I saw some reports. These measures do not impact Bangladesh's exports to Nepal and Bhutan transiting through Indian territory. So that was Keshav for you. Can we have more questions?
Sir, this
Ghazali?
is regarding Bangladesh only. Ghazali from NDTV here. Just wanted to understand about the extradition request from Bangladesh for Sheikh Hasina, and the press secretary of the chief advisor, they are putting out a Facebook post. So what is the response? What is the status? And also, India has been raising the issue of the persecution of minorities in Bangladesh, and that came up for discussion with the Prime Minister as well. So are we satisfied with the response there, or what is the status for all these 7-8 months since Sheikh Hasina was ousted from there?
Rishabh?
Good evening, sir. Rishabh from Times Now. So again on Bangladesh, I have a couple of questions. First, near the chicken neck at the Lal Moner Har, there is a Second World War era airstrip which is being redeveloped. The report suggests that with the help of Pakistani Air Force, J-17 aircrafts are to be operated from there. Is India aware of it, and have we taken any step in this regard? Again, when Chief Advisor was in China, he spoke to Chinese president about the Teesta water sharing, which is a bilateral agreement between India and Bangladesh. He wanted China to intervene. So have we raked this up with Dhaka? And third, after the meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the press secretary of Chief Advisor came up with a long post on Facebook where he spoke about things like Prime Minister telling him that India is aware of the mistreatment, quote unquote, of Mohammad Yunus by the former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Also, he says that on the issue of extradition, the response was not negative from India. So if we can have more details on that.
Okay. Elena?
Good afternoon, Elena Tass, News Agency. Recently, Deputy Foreign Minister of Russia said that a visit by Shri Narendra Modi to Moscow for Victory Day is being worked out. Can you confirm this information? And also, will Indian military contingent participate in the parade on Red Square on Victory Day? And will Shri Rajnath Singh come to Moscow for Victory Day? Thank you very much.
Okay. Shivam?
Thank you, sir. This is Shivam Patel from Reuters News. A query on trade talks. So we are discussing trade deal with the EU and also in talks with US. We expect both, or we anticipate both to be completed this year. Is there a certain timeline whether one sort of the talks with EU are expected to conclude earlier than the US? Secondly, China has also asked India to stand with it in the response to US tariffs. How does India view China's comments on that?
Okay. Huma?
So I'm Huma Siddiqui from Stat News Global. I have two questions. One is Prime Minister met with the Nepalese PM during the BIMSTEC. Did they discuss how Nepal is including some certain parts of Uttarakhand in the school 8th standard school books? And my second question is Nityananda, that fake guru, he has created a scandal in Bolivia by trying to buy land and from indigenous people. So if you have anything on that.
Okay, so Ghazali, coming first to your question. See, on the question of extradition, I have stated our position on this issue earlier, and I have no further comment to offer to you. On your question of the minorities, this particular issue came up for discussion. We have conveyed our concerns regarding treatment of minorities, the kind of violence that has happened against them, and we also highlighted and we have been doing this in several of our conversations, including when we had the meeting in Bangkok, that these violence and atrocities against the minorities cannot be just wished away or said that they are because of political reasons or they are media exaggerations. So we hope that the Bangladesh government will take strong action against those who are responsible for these atrocities. Rishabh, you have several questions. One, of course, regarding the chicken snack. We closely follow, as you know, all developments which have an impact on our security, and we take action as appropriate. On Teesta, see, there are 54 rivers which are shared between India and Bangladesh. Now, to discuss all relevant issues, water issues, we have a mechanism, a bilateral mechanism, which is called Joint Rivers Commission. We are ready to discuss all issues provided that they are mutually agreed upon and provided that the overall environment is conducive for the same. You also had a question regarding on Teesta matters, issues again, concerning all 54 rivers between India and Bangladesh, including Teesta, are a bilateral matter between the two countries. Established institutional mechanisms, including, as I said, the Joint Rivers Commission, supported by technical level discussions, deal with all relevant water-related issues and are bilateral in nature. On the extradition, I gave you what our position is. Elena, regarding our Prime Minister has received invitation for participation in the Victory Day celebrations. We'll be announcing our participation in Victory Day celebration at the appropriate time. As far as participation of Indian contingent is concerned, that again we'll let you know as and when we have an update and something to report to you. Shivam, on trade talks, on 3rd we had a detailed press release issued by the Ministry of Commerce where India's position was made clear. We are studying the implications of the tariffs that have been announced, reciprocal tariffs, and discussions, as you know, are ongoing between India and US trade teams for an expeditious conclusion of a mutually beneficial multi-sectoral bilateral trade agreement. India values its comprehensive global strategic partnership with the US and is committed to working closely with it. So we hope, the joint statement when the Prime Minister went to Washington, D.C., the joint statement adopted then said that we would like to conclude this particular agreement by fall of this year. So we are hopeful. Both teams are in discussion and hopefully we can close it. On the other EU FTA, yes, there was a very high commitment on both sides that was made amply clear when the EU President was here. We also hope that these negotiations will also move fast and will be concluded in a manner that is mutually